Okay, I'll write my name on the board. Or say it. Just say it. Okay. My full name is Indrawan. Indrawan. Nugroho. That's my last name. Nugroho. Nugroho. So people just call me by my first name, and it's just the two syllable. Indra. So, yes. Thanks very much. That's great. My name is Indra. Indra is actually abbreviations of Indonesia, the name of the country. Ra is from Raya. Raya means the great. So Indra means the great Indonesia. Just kidding, but that's partially true because my father told me that. So I don't know whether that is true or not, but it kind of feels good, like knowing that your name means something bigger. Okay, once again, thank you for coming, and you probably been wondering about the program that I mentioned on stage. So I better just get started, and I probably would like to have about 30 minutes to 40 minutes presenting the idea behind the program and how we have run it so far. And hopefully we can still have some times, maybe 10 to 15 minutes for discussions. And my goal actually today my main goal is not about me here presenting or sharing. My main goal is actually getting feedback. Because you've been world game players, right? So, right. So you probably have the same problem that we are trying to tackle here in Indonesia, and you probably have done something there, and if it's working, please let me know so we can learn from you, we can tweak the program, because even though it's been running for 2 years, the program is actually still in its initial phase. So we need lots of feedback, inputs, critics, so that we can make a better program. Okay, so I've mentioned a few statistics, a few numbers during the elevator pitch on stage. Those numbers actually come from Indonesia. It's the numbers that I presented to you earlier. It's Indonesia, right? We have 255 million, more than 255 million people in Indonesia live here in 17,500 different islands. We have 1,340 subcultures in Indonesia. So imagine the complexities. You meet the same person from Indonesia, but somehow you can't speak one another, and you have completely different values, different cultures, and you might insult somebody, which you have no intention to because of the differences in values and cultures. Right. Yes.
So how different are those languages? I mean, can you just give us an idea?
Actually, these 564, most of them are no longer being spoken these days. So probably it's just around 100 languages that is regularly spoken throughout Indonesia. But luckily, our founding fathers, they decide we all have one national language, that is Indonesian. So everywhere I go, throughout Indonesia, I can understand them, they can understand me, using Bahasa Indonesia. But it is very likely that, for example, when I do some presentations in Sulawesi, for example, or in East Java, for example, then I'll be speaking in Bahasa, but the people can speak in Javanese language. Luckily, I come from Java, so I can sort of like understand what they're saying. But even though sort of like I don't get what they're saying, they can always speak Bahasa. So the good thing for us is that there is one single national language. But the reason why I mentioned about this 564 is just to get some idea about the richness of the cultures, of the history of these nations. And that is actually the key to community empowerment. When I said earlier that we have some idea on how to tackle this huge big problem with different people throughout these thousands of islands, how can we actually help them? Well, I'm going to give you some clue. It is actually this is the problem, and at the same time, this is the solutions, right? So I'll get to that. I'll get to that. Okay, so when I speak about problem, I think every countries in the world have problems. Indonesia also have problems. Poor population is 11%. Unemployment is also a problem here, not as high as some countries, but still. Access to higher education is only 30%. Right? Health and hygiene. So can you imagine? When you come here, then you can't possibly imagine that some people actually living in very dirty places, etc., not healthy at all. And income gap, this is from Gini ratio factor, 0.4, which is not so bad, but it's not that good. So despite all this, we have this idealism. We want to help as many people as we want. So we want to create a program that can fit to everybody and then can help everybody. But the problem is, we have to do something different, because right now there are plenty of programs actually running throughout Indonesia. One is sponsored by the government, and also programs that is conducted by just community civil societies. These are just some of the programs that has been running, maybe starting from 10 years ago until last year. Now there is three actually similar characteristics on this program. That is, it is all centralized. So all the programs that is intended to help people to have a better welfare, better educations, etc., is mostly centralized. If it is government, it is centralized in Jakarta, central government here. It is a community that it will be centralized in where that community is born. It is in Surabaya, or in Semarang, or in Medan, for example. So it's very centralized. Secondly, it is also generic. So they create this one ultimate program that they wish that program can help everybody in Indonesia. With different subcultures, different islands, different languages, just one single generic program. Okay. And the third one is, it's almost all of those programs is Jakarta driven. So here in Jakarta, we design everything, we give commands, we monitor from here, and the people in the region area, they are just passive. They just the people who do things, but they don't have to think. They don't need to contribute. They just receive all the helps, right? Now, the problem with this kind of program is this. First is lacking ownership. So they don't feel like, okay, this is a program that is created by the people whom I've never seen. This is the guy from Jakarta, and I live in Papua, and that's about 7 hours flight from Jakarta. Right? And, right? It's not the dream. It's the visions. Yes. Visionary like us, crazy people, crazy things, right? Have nothing to lose. What you got to lose, right? Yeah. Okay, applause for you. Thank you very much. This is a great audience. Applause for you. Applause. Thank you. Okay, so I like to talk about more specific about the program, how we do it. There are 5 phases in the program. The first phase, we call it the recruitment. So we do talent scouting. We try to find, because we want to design it. We don't want this happen by chance. We want to design it. Make sure that there are local genius talent in Indonesia, right? So we do this first phase by talent scouting. What we do currently is actually we are talent scouting at the moment for our second wave. And we do talent scouting in 22 cities across Indonesia. Right? We pick the cities which is, we believe that they are the people who have our criteria lives there. And we invite them, so all the people that we think have the ability to become the local talent, we invite them and we put them into a workshop. Right? Your workshop. Actually, the idea of the workshop is this. We want to test them. So we put them into the workshop. We give them, some ideas. We share our idealisms, our visions, and see how they react. Some of them react with, wow, this is what I want. This is what I need. I've been looking for this. Some of them, oh, come on. Then you know which one to pick, right? Okay, so out of those people who says, wow, this is great, this is cool, this is right. So they go to the next sessions where we teach them how to design a empowerment program. Okay, this is the tools, how you create an empowerment program, this is the mindset, this is the paradigm. And then at the end of that sessions, they are separated into two different groups. The first groups would say, I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know how to do it. So they don't have the intellectual capability to do that, right? And some actually can draw a concept, even though it's just a sketchy concept, but it's there. It shows that they know that this is community development, because most people, they do community service, not community development. You know the difference, right? Yeah. We are looking for people who wants to do community development, not community service. Now, once we have those people, then they go to the next sessions again. Okay, this is a piece of paper, draw a proposal for the program. Now, at the end of the workshop, you can tell which one that you will pick, which one is not. Right? Okay, this is pictures of the workshop that we've been doing. This is another workshop in different cities throughout Indonesia. Also this. Right. So after we select them, then we bring them to Jakarta. So the workshop was held in their cities, so we go to their cities, right? And then all the selected people we invite to Jakarta, and in Jakarta we give them another workshop at an advanced level. Because at the end of the workshop, they have to have a real program for their hometown. A real concrete program with the funding there, with the stakeholders there, what exactly they will do, action plan, etc. A program that the experts in Jakarta will see, okay, this is working, this is not, or you need to do this and that. And also in this phase, this is the first time they meet their coaches. Okay. So we pair the coach and the coachee in this phase. So we have selected about, actually last year it was about 54 attended the training in Jakarta, but only 10 we picked. And this 10 each assigned a coach. Just being assigned, that's what they do. This is just some of the pictures. Well, you know who she is? Yeah, Lira. Yeah, Lira. So we got help from the coach Nasia. I think all of the coaches are Ericsson coaches. A big applause for Ericsson coaches. Because they have the same spirit, like we are all. So it's very easy to convince them to help us. Because everybody wants to play the world game. Okay, and this is the game, right? Okay, this is Doli. Doli is actually a prostitution area. So it's localizations for prostitutes in Surabaya, and then it's been closed down by the government. And then the prostitutes, they don't have the income anymore, etc., etc. And it's sort of like you kill one thing, and then a new problem arises, right? Dalu, this is the person. This is our local genius talent. Dalu step up and think of a way how to help those ex-working girls in Doli. And Coach Lira helped Dalu to overcome all the obstacles, to find new ways, to have all the motivations. There is one point in the program that Dalu wanted to quit. Why? Because Dalu, he was so obsessed about helping these people, and he forgot to, try to find income for himself. And his mother starting to, oh, you should get married, and you must have some income, etc., etc. And when that happened, then Coach Lira came for the rescue, right? And the program still running until now. Yeah, I don't know what Coach Lira did there. Yeah, maybe you should ask her. But it's still running until now. This is Coach Ato, Coach Fauzi Rahmanto, all excellent coaches. Coach Joseph Batawana, you met him? Yes? Yes, with Sukmaria. She's a housewife, but she already helped I have the number, I forgot. About 139 people in the village to have their own business. And help about 233 households to live their welfare and out from the poor category. Only in, I think it's about just 3 years. So knowing that, I'm assuring myself, what did I do? I haven't done anything. They've done all these fantastic things. What have I done? No, those are the questions maybe we should ask ourselves in these 2 days. What have we done? Probably we just focus too much on making money, right? Okay, and then we do the Mizaman, then celebrations. Okay, I already have about 15 minutes left, so I just want to show you a very quick slides. So these are the 10 local talent genius, and these are the coaches. Each local talent paired with one coaches, and they work for a whole year together to make sure that the program actually runs, and not just run, but make a real difference. We are now still in the process of measuring the whole impact, but from the data that we receive, this is just some of the data. We already got something real. Yeah, for example, this is Sukmaria, Coach Joseph. This is what I mentioned to you earlier, about 130 micro entrepreneurs and 233 poor people lifted out of their poverty. And this is just, actually, before Coach Joseph, Coach Sukmaria has already done this program. But what she did then was very slow and systemic and make a difference, but not much. Probably just about a few people, about 10, 15, etc. And then Coach Joseph Batana steps in, did the coaching, and then boom, 130 micro entrepreneurs were born. 233 people lifted from poverty. That is the power of coaching. That is community empowerment. So applause for Coach Joseph Batana, whoever is. Oh, he's next door. Yeah, and applause for Coach Lila behind there. Thank you, Coach Lila. So, yes.
What is the meaning of Sri Kandi?
Sri Kandi is it's a Indonesian. You know wayang, the puppet show?
Yeah.
There is one character, a female character, that is the most, what do you call it, the powerful influencer.
Hero, women hero, female hero.
Female hero.
The wife of Arjuna.
The wife of Arjuna, yes. So when we see an Indonesian people who actually step up for something and then have this achievement and helping a lot of people, we call that person a Sri Kandi. So it's a compliment. Pardon the translations. It's not very well translated, so I just explained it. This is Farlin. Farlin is also special. She saw a problem in her regions. It's about energy, right? So access to energy like gas. What do you call it? A gas in a bottle. Tabung gas in Indonesia. So
Ingenious?
gas,
LPG?
LPG, liquid
Petroleum gas.
petroleum gas.
Yeah.
You know? Okay. In Bangka Belitung, it's quite hard to have access to LPG, and it's not just hard; it is expensive. So not many people have access to that, and there is reason why a lot of households there they cook using wood. So it's inefficient, etc., not good, blah blah blah. So here's an idea. I have some knowledge on how to turn. Interesting. Plastic waste into oil and kafasa into bioethanol. So her program is very simple. Come to me with plastic waste, then I will give you at that exact moment, this is your oil. Give me your cassava, this is your bioethanol. Because he has this technology that she developed. Yeah. Very brilliant person. Okay, just give you a little bit of backstory about Farmin. She's very passionate, but quote unquote naive. What happened a few months ago, the government quote unquote stole the idea and claimed it was theirs. And then that same program is being held as one of the best program, and then it's sort of like being done in different regions. And finally, did get any funding? So it's one of the things that we learn along the way. So we need to equip our local talents, how they protect their ideas, because not because of you don't want to share your idea, but to make sure that that idea, that solutions can be benefit most people, as many people as possible. We are afraid that, for example, a company bought the idea, and then what happened? They just make the idea into commercially use, and then not many people can have access to it. So that's another things that we learned along the way. This is Coach Lira with Dalu. Coach Lira, do you mind, since you are here, can you sort of just 1 minute, what did you do with Dalu, and what do you think is his achievement so far? Please applause for Coach Lira.
Just coincidence to be here. Okay. Actually, in this process, we coaches choose our coachee or our client. I choose him. Why? Because this dolly thing, prostitutions in this area is quite a kind of social disease, right? It becomes not only a business. It turns out to be an industry, and it turns out to be a system. So even there's a mafia there that we cannot touch, untouchable system. Until one day the new mayor of the city has this courage to close the center, the prostitution center. There's a lot of pros and cons. But then it is not enough. I mean, some of the buildings acts, what do you call the localizations? Yeah, some of the buildings is converted into a small, medium industry, but it is not enough. Why? Because the environment, there are so many years, they actually really got the benefit, commercial benefit, they lived from the system. So, this person, Dalu, and their friends, actually they built this community, the business voluntary group, to support the government to change and to transform the people. So they accept and they don't do any demo to open the prostitution center again. So when I choose him, it is very, very. I mean, actually the program is only 1 day, 1 year. But it's continuously, actually, till now. So almost 2 years, right? I coach him. The first time I met him, because I was a social entrepreneur before, I'm doing this kind of things. And the challenge of every social movement leaders is about income, right? Our own income to survive, so we can sustain our missions, right? So the first thing that I asked to him is actually, okay, about the missions. What is your missions? And what is the visions? And the third question is, how would you, apa yakin ya?
Believe?
No, not believe. How you can convince yourself that you can do it sustainably with this, because I'm also a wealth coach. So I was usual to to do this wealth diagnostic, and I know about his business is not really going well, and her mothers kept asking me to get married and get a job and then be a normal person. Buy a house, buy a car, get married, And this is a challenge, right? Because she's very young and very, very idealistic. And also the challenge is not his own income, but the sustainability of the group. Because sooner or later, they will face their own challenge from their parents. To do the normal, quote-unquote, things, to get a job, and then to earn a living, and then to get married, and forgot these ideas. So how would you convince yourself? Would you equip yourself for you yourself to be sustainable in this journey, and for your team? So after this 1 year, actually, yes, he survived that. He managed his business. So one of the key things in his, coaching of Dalu is creating a sustainable business for his own, so he can continue his missions. But then last sessions, the challenge is about the sustainability of the group, because the team start to leave the groups for their commercial, their life, the challenge. So we enter the new level, how to keep this group sustainable and how to build a core team that's strong to really assist people there. Because now they have already children education center, right across the center of prostitutions. So we built that kind of things. We built a lot of transformations from, what do you call the PIMS? Okay? We transform from PIMS of people into into the headmaster of school for teachers. Really? Yeah, we do that. From PIMS to pimpinan, leaders of children's school there. And there are children there, they can go to school now. Before that, they don't have proper educations because they see that.
I was wondering what was the component of local wisdom in this